Glaceon is a Pokemon looking to freeze enemy Pokemon in their tracks. Let's talk about all the basics of Glaceon so that you can learn to embrace the cold. Starting as a humble Eevee, you are going to have access to Swift. Swift for Glaceon creates 4 stars, and 1 or 2 stars is going to go out with each of your auto attacks. The other early game move is Tail Whip, where you're going to lower someone's defensive stats and movement speed for about a second. Every 70 seconds when Glaceon is hit by crowd control, instead of taking the crowd control, Glaceon is going to turn invisible and ignore the crowd control instead. And now for the boosted attack. Every third attack, you're going to deal increased damage and have 2 ice crystals move around you. These ice crystals are used in Glaceon's abilities and are the pinnacle point of how this character operates. With that out of the way, we can talk about Icicle Spear. At level 4, when you get this move, you can choose to launch all of your stored ice crystals at a target. Ice crystals will chase the enemy that you target, hunting them down. This is a sure hit move, but it can be body blocked. When they hit their target, they're going to explode and deal damage in the area around that explosion. Every single time an ice crystal hits the same target, they deal more and more damage. And as a note, whenever you use this move, the cooldown of your other ability gets reduced. The other level 4 option is Icy Wind, where you're going to dash a short distance and buff your next auto attack. The next auto attack is going to send out all of your ice crystals at the target. If an enemy is hit by 4 or more ice crystals, their movement speed gets decreased. And the most important part, Glaceon does not expend ice crystals with this. If you hit a Pokemon with them, they're going to come right back. It's important to note that for both of the moves I just talked about, you are going to get 2 ice crystals if you currently have 0 when you try to cast the move. At level 6, you can opt into Ice Shard. Ice Shard buffs your auto attacks. This buff does 2 important things. First, instead of every third auto attack giving you 2 ice shards, every auto attack is going to give you 2 ice shards. And on top of this, every enemy you hit with an auto attack is going to be slowed. This move can generate 2 additional ice crystals if it's used during the windup of Icicle Spear or after the dash on Icy Wind, but before you auto attack. The other level 6 option is Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry sends out this cold burst of air that then explodes and leaves a puddle on the ground. Every enemy you hit with this puddle gives you 2 ice crystals. Any enemy that remains in the puddle for 2.5 seconds gets stunned. And then most importantly, the moment you cast this ability, your special attack is increased by 50% for 3 seconds. At level 8, you get your Unite move, where you leap up in the air, you choose which direction you want to land, and you send forth this giant ice storm. When you're inside of the ice zone, you are going to get 2 ice crystals every second if you're in the middle, or 1 crystal every second if you're on the perimeter. And as this is ice, all enemies move slower if they are in the ice zone. So what do I like to run on Glaceon? Right now, I like to run Icy Wind and Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry is great because it lets you get ice crystals from a range and increases your special attack. From there, you're able to reposition and dive at an enemy with Icy Wind, and then chunk them with all of the spears with your auto attack. This gives you a lot of burst to play with. Now let's talk about the difficult part of Glaceon, juggling ice crystals. If you are not actively in combat using boosted attacks, you are going to lose all of your active ice crystals. So resource management is the key to success with Glaceon. You are always going to want to be farming or attacking something. This is going to make sure that when an enemy Pokemon comes into your range, you're going to be able to jump on them with enough ice crystals to chunk them. Now, if you aren't confident in your ability to dash around and use the dash successfully, the other safer moveset is Icicle Spear and Ice Shard. You still have to manage your resources, but with Ice Shard, you're going to be able to generate more spears faster. This means you're going to be able to get that sure hit off, and you're going to notice that it's very nice having an ability that does the aiming for you. Since your Unite move is up all the time, use it. Look for one-on-ones or one-on-twos where you have that Unite move available. You will win. Use your Unite move to get your initial crystals, and then fire them at the enemy. That is quickly going to become a one-on-one, and then that ice zone's still going to be up to help you whittle down the other. That concludes my quick guide to Glaceon and Pokémon Unite. If you'd like to learn more about Pokémon Unite, click the video on your screen now, and it will take you to another guide I've done on another Pokemon in the game. If you got value out of this guide, subscribe to this channel. I'm making more Pokémon Unite content soon, and I'd love to have you around. Otherwise, have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.